Perfection is an illusion. Authenticity is the truth that sets us free. Jean-Paul Sartre. Imagine this. You find yourself standing at the border of a world that seems to exist in a perpetual twilight, a place where time and meaning have unraveled. The air vibrates with a silent tension, as if the universe itself were questioning the very essence of perfection. You feel an unsettling pull, as though every shadow conceals a secret, and every flicker of light dares you to reconsider what you once believed to be real. In that moment, a question hovers in the space between your heartbeat and your thoughts. Is the perfect life nothing more than a mirage, a carefully curated illusion that masks an inner void? As you step closer, the reflection in the mirror shatters the simplicity of your assumptions. You see not just one face, but a tapestry of selves, each layer whispering a different truth about desire and disillusionment. What if the quest for an immaculate existence is simply an attempt to bury those parts of you deemed unacceptable? The dichotomy between light and darkness in your soul creates an internal tension, urging you to reconcile with the fragmented pieces of your true self. Wandering down a seemingly endless corridor, you are confronted by countless closed doors, each promising an idealized version of life. Their silent testimonies challenge you. Are these doors barriers to authenticity, or invitations to explore the myriad possibilities of being? The flickering light and stretching shadows evoke a feeling of urgency, a need to understand why perfection remains perpetually out of reach. With every step, the paradox deepens. How can something so coveted be so unattainable? And why does the pursuit itself leave you with an ever-growing sense of emptiness? In the heart of this urban dreamscape, the neon glow bathes the world in a spectrum of seductive promises. Here, the illusion of perfection is marketed relentlessly. Every light, every gleaming surface, a testament to a life that seems flawless. Yet, as you observe the solitary wanderers, you sense a quiet despair lurking behind their eyes. What if the dazzling sheen of modernity is nothing more than a distraction from the existential void that festers beneath? The cityscape becomes a metaphor for a society caught in the snare of its own expectations, questioning whether perfection is a destination or merely a perpetually receding mirage. You now stand at the threshold of an ancient maze, its convoluted pathways tangled with the overgrowth of forgotten dreams. The solitary candle at its center casts an ambiguous glow, inviting you to explore a deeper, more disquieting question. Is the promise of a perfect life merely an elaborate construction designed to lure you into a labyrinth from which true fulfillment is ever elusive? The interplay of light and shadow in the maze mirrors the inner conflict within you, a struggle to reconcile the allure of perfection with the intrinsic imperfections that define our existence. In the silence of this abandoned theater, every echo of your footsteps resounds with the memories of grand performances that once promised a flawless narrative. The theater's decaying elegance forces you to question: is the perfect life but a well-rehearsed play, its brilliance only skin deep, hiding the truth of inevitable decay? The lingering beauty in ruin speaks to a reality where perfection is transient, and every act is destined to be followed by the harsh critique of time. Here, the seeds of doubt blossom into a profound existential inquiry. As the storm rages over the turbulent sea, you face the ultimate question: is the perfect life an ever-changing illusion, a fleeting moment of calm in an ocean of chaos, or is it a trap that keeps you anchored to a reality you desperately wish to escape? The lighthouse, solitary yet unyielding, beckons you to search for meaning in the midst of the storm. With every crashing wave, you are reminded that the pursuit of perfection might be the very source of your discontent, an existential puzzle that challenges the core of your being and demands a reckoning with the truth beneath the lie. Beneath the shimmering veneer of a perfect life lies a hidden problem, a subtle dissonance woven into the very fabric of our existence. As you stand in this study of secrets, you sense that every whispered page and every fractured reflection speaks of an internal conflict. What if the relentless chase for perfection is less about achieving an ideal and more about concealing a profound underlying struggle? In the interplay between light and shadow, the truth emerges. Our deepest wounds and desires are hidden beneath layers of constructed identity, silently questioning the legitimacy of the perfect life. In the realm of the psyche, you discover that the quest for perfection is fueled by the age-old battle between our conscious self and the shadow lurking in the depths. Carl Jung taught us that every individual harbors a darker, unexplored facet, the shadow self, which we often suppress in favor of an idealized image. Have you ever wondered if the pursuit of flawlessness is simply an attempt to bury those parts of you deemed unacceptable? The dichotomy between light and darkness in your soul creates an internal tension, urging you to reconcile with the fragmented pieces of your true self. As you peer into the carnival mirror of your inner world, you begin to see the legacy of centuries-old cultural conditioning. Friedrich Nietzsche and Arthur Schopenhauer once warned that the imposition of lofty ideals has trapped humanity in a perpetual cycle of self-deception. The image of perfection, promoted relentlessly by society, serves as a distorted benchmark, compelling you to measure your worth against an impossible standard. The carnival mirror reveals that the perfect life, as sold to you, is a carefully constructed myth, a lure that diverts attention from the authentic, messy reality of human existence. Modernity has harnessed the power of illusion, transforming the pursuit of perfection into a high-stakes performance art. Aldous Huxley's insights into the perils of overstimulation resonate here. Every pixel of that neon glow is a reminder of how the bombardment of idealized images warps your inner vision. In this metropolis of manufactured dreams, each advertisement and every digital veneer amplifies a silent despair, a call to conform, to aspire to an unattainable ideal. Can you hear the echo of existential emptiness beneath the clamor of perfection? It is a reminder that in the race for the flawless, you risk losing the very essence of who you are. In moments of quiet solitude, the weight of this hidden problem presses against your soul. Jean-Paul Sartre and Viktor Frankl both remind you that life's meaning emerges not from the relentless pursuit of a flawless existence, but from the confrontation with your inner void. the perfect life becomes a mask that conceals the inevitable suffering and unpredictability of existence. As you gaze out into the rain-soaked night, you wonder, is this pursuit merely a distraction? A way to avoid the raw, unvarnished truth of living authentically in a world rife with imperfection? The cultural tapestry of your surroundings is interwoven with the threads of this paradox. Each stroke of the mural speaks to the collective psychological scars that have been passed down through generations. The archetypes immortalized by our cultural myths both inspire and imprison you. Every societal expectation is a relic of a bygone era, now repurposed to serve the modern hunger for perfection. And as you trace the vivid lines of the mural, you realize that the lie of the perfect life is a shared delusion, a deeply ingrained narrative that molds your behavior, emotions, and even your sense of identity. This labyrinth is the embodiment of your internal struggle. It reveals how the relentless pursuit of perfection is not an isolated personal flaw, but a systemic malaise, a product of deeply rooted psychological and philosophical forces. The maze whispers of your battles with self-doubt and the hidden wounds that society insists you conceal. The teachings of existentialists and psychologists alike urge you to confront these inner demons. Yet the path is treacherous and shrouded in uncertainty, challenging you to unearth the buried truths that fuel your desire for an immaculate life. In the twilight between hope and despair, you come face to face with the hidden problem. The lie of the perfect life is born from an unyielding need to escape the raw reality of existence. It is a desperate attempt to shield yourself from the pain of imperfection and the inevitable decay that time brings. But as you stand before the ruins of a forgotten ideal, you recognize that the seeds of this deception are sown deep within your psyche, nurtured by cultural myths and philosophical paradoxes. Here, in the quiet resonance of crumbling grandeur, you are compelled to ask the uncomfortable question: how did this deceptive construct become the cornerstone of your identity? And what does it truly cost you to pursue a perfection that was never meant to be? You stand amid the broken pieces of an illusion, each shard reflecting a truth you've long avoided. The lie of the perfect life fractures not only your self-image, but also the very core of your emotional being. In these scattered reflections, you see the remnants of unfulfilled expectations and the silent scars of compromise. How did the relentless pursuit of an ideal spark such hidden disarray within your soul? The remnants of your former aspirations mingle with the stark reality of loss, leaving you to wonder if the promise of perfection was nothing more than a cruel, shattering myth. Deep within your mind, the lure of perfection has rewired your thinking. Every desire to measure up triggers a cascade of biases, distorting your perception of self-worth. You find yourself ensnared in a web of relentless self-criticism, where every success is diminished by the shadow of inevitable failure. These cognitive traps, invisible yet potent, ensure that each fleeting moment of triumph is quickly overshadowed by doubt. As your thoughts spiral in this neural maze, you ask, can you ever break free from the inner circuitry that perpetuates this silent torment? Beyond the realm of personal introspection, a vast cultural force reinforces the myth. The media and social platforms weave a tapestry of unattainable perfection, a constant barrage of curated smiles, flawless bodies, and pristine lifestyles. Each image, meticulously constructed, seeps into your consciousness, urging you to measure your worth by an impossible standard. In this silent invasion, you begin to feel the weight of external expectations crushing your authentic self. The question arises, how do you reconcile the pristine images on your screen with the messy, unpredictable reality that lies within you? In the crowded silence of modern life, the lie of perfection isolates you, even as it connects you to others. Surrounded by individuals lost in their own reflections of digital grandeur, you feel an acute loneliness, a disconnection from the raw, unfiltered human experience. The constant comparison to these idealized snapshots creates an invisible barrier, distancing you from genuine interaction. Instead of shared laughter and tearful vulnerabilities, you encounter a society fixated on surface-level success. In the midst of this isolation, you ponder, is the pursuit of perfection the very chain that binds you to an existence devoid of true connection? As you navigate the labyrinth of expectations, the pursuit of perfection erodes your emotional landscape. The once vibrant pulse of authentic feeling now falters beneath the strain of incessant self-monitoring. Every pressure to conform shatters another piece of your inner sanctuary, leaving behind a mosaic of anxiety, regret, and suppressed sorrow. The heart, once capable of boundless compassion and joy, now beats to the rhythm of disillusionment. You are left to wonder if this emotional dissonance is the inevitable cost of chasing an ideal that is, in its very nature, unattainable. Under the relentless pressure to embody an image of perfection, your sense of self begins to blur and erode. The relentless comparisons and the weight of external expectations strip away the layers that once defined your individuality. In this digital age, where every moment is curated and quantified, you risk losing the very essence of who you are. What remains is a hollow semblance, a ghostly version of your true self, reduced to data points and fleeting moments of validation. Can you reclaim the parts of you that have been lost to an endless pursuit of an immaculate image? The repercussions of the perfection myth extend far beyond the individual, seeping into the fabric of society itself. Relationships become transactional, measured by the superficial metrics of success rather than genuine human connection. In this network, each thread represents a bond strained by unspoken comparisons and unmet expectations. The pervasive illusion corrodes trust and empathy, leaving behind a community where authentic connection is sacrificed on the altar of a flawless facade. As you trace these dimming threads, you are confronted with a stark realization. The lie of perfection ripples outward, tainting not only your life but the collective spirit of those around you. At the edge of this unraveling tapestry lies the final, unyielding truth. The relentless pursuit of a perfect life exacts a steep, often invisible toll. Every polished surface conceals hidden fractures. Every gleaming promise harbors unspoken regrets. The consequences of this myth are not sudden calamities, but gradual erosions of self-worth, of community, of the very fabric of your inner being. As the deceptive embroidery gives way to the raw threads beneath, you stand at a precipice, forced to confront the cumulative cost of a lie that has defined your existence. In this moment of profound clarity, you are left to ask, can you ever rebuild your identity on the shaky ground of an ideal that was never truly real? In the midst of a constructed world that has long demanded perfection, you feel the stir of something raw and insistent, a spark of defiance that ignites from within. The chains of expectation, once thought unbreakable, begin to crumble at your touch. You sense that this moment marks the birth of a revolution against the relentless lie of flawlessness. Is it possible that the power to reshape your life has always resided in your willingness to challenge every imposed standard? The darkness around you trembles as the first steps toward liberation are taken, hinting at a world where your authentic self can finally breathe free. The revolution begins with the defiant strokes of a spray can, a visceral declaration that the curated images of perfection are nothing more than empty facades. In this moment, you see the truth. The perfect life is a construct, a mirage that evaporates when met with the heat of genuine passion. With every spray of color on a tired wall, the oppressive narrative shatters a little more. Can you feel the surge of power as you join the ranks of those daring enough to proclaim that the only true beauty lies in imperfection? Here, in this explosion of raw expression, you find the courage to discard the chains of expectation and claim your birthright of authenticity. Every step you take on this path is a rejection of the old order, a march toward an uncharted future where your true self can emerge unburdened by external validation. The road is not smooth. It is paved with the detritus of outdated ideals and the remnants of shattered illusions. Yet, with every footfall, you assert your right to exist beyond the confines of a neatly packaged life. This journey is not an escape from reality, but an embrace of it, a courageous stride into the chaotic beauty of an unfiltered world. How liberating would it be to walk this road, knowing that each step is a deliberate act of self-creation. The door before you is both a barrier and an invitation, a threshold between the confines of a false perfection and a universe brimming with genuine possibility. As you push it open, the familiar rigidity gives way to a wild, unpredictable world where every mistake and every scar is celebrated as a mark of existence. This is the space where vulnerability becomes strength and the chaotic dance of light and shadow reveals the true contours of your soul. What if the key to liberation lies not in perfection, but in the raw beauty of imperfection itself? Stepping through this doorway, you commit to a new narrative, one defined by authenticity rather than by the unyielding standards of an imposed ideal. Within you lies a warrior, a fierce, unyielding spirit, determined to dismantle the statues that have long exuded the myth of perfection. This battle is not waged with weapons forged from anger, but with the strength of self-acceptance and the courage to stand in the face of overwhelming odds. Every swing of your inner resolve chips away at the pedestal upon which a false ideal has been exalted. In this act of defiance, you claim the right to be both flawed and magnificent. Feel the surge of empowerment as you realize that true strength comes from embracing your vulnerabilities and recognizing that your scars are the badges of a life lived authentically. Gazing into the myriad reflections, you witness the tapestry of your multifaceted identity. Each mirror, whether fractured or whole, reveals a truth that perfection could never capture. The rebellion now becomes an inward journey, a quest to integrate every fragment of your being into a coherent whole. Here, in the interplay of light and shadow, you discover that the beauty of life lies in its complexity. The imperfect reflections are not failures to be hidden, but vibrant affirmations of a life lived in full, messy color. Ask yourself, can you celebrate every fragment of your soul, recognizing that the sum of your parts is far richer than any illusion of flawlessness? In the expanse of this liberated field, you find that your rebellion is not a solitary act, but part of a grand, interconnected movement. The countless lights dancing in the twilight are the luminous embers of souls who have dared to reject the lie of perfection. Their shared defiance creates a tapestry of resistance that stretches beyond the confines of individual struggle. Here, you witness the power of community, a collective voice that proclaims, with quiet intensity, that the true essence of life is not in perfection, but in the raw, unvarnished beauty of being human. What if the revolution you seek begins with the simple act of joining this chorus of authenticity? As the first rays of a new day burst over the horizon, you stand at the precipice of a transformed world, one where the pursuit of an immaculate life is replaced by the celebration of your true, imperfect self. This sunrise heralds not only the end of an era defined by unattainable ideals, but also the beginning of a life reimagined through the lens of authenticity. With each glowing moment, you are reminded that every misstep, every scar, and every fleeting emotion is a testament to your journey toward liberation. This is your revolution, a courageous declaration that you will no longer live for an illusion, but for the raw, vibrant reality of your own making. In the quiet, after the storm of rebellion, you stand before the mirror of your soul, its fragments no longer scattered in chaos, but converging into a new, radiant reflection. Here, the ultimate truth unfolds. Perfection is not found in the flawless image, but in the honest acceptance of every crack, every scar that tells your story. As you watch the shattered pieces dance and realign, you realize that the journey was never about erasing the imperfections, but about embracing them as integral parts of your identity. In that silent, transformative moment, you begin to see that the perfect life is not a destination defined by a flawless facade, but a dynamic process of becoming, where every broken piece plays its role in the beautiful mosaic of your existence. Stepping into this sacred repository of human experience, you discover that every moment, each struggle, and every victory has been a lesson written in the grand ledger of existence. The wisdom of ages whispers that the pursuit of perfection is not a sin, but a necessary detour on the path to genuine understanding. In the delicate glow of candlelight, you recognize that every flaw, every imperfection has its own story, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The library beckons you to absorb these lessons, to let the weight of your history guide you toward an enlightened truth, that the beauty of life lies in the interplay of darkness and light, of shadow and illumination. High above the clamor of everyday life, on this majestic peak, you encounter the clarity that comes only with hard-won insight. Here, amidst the silent grandeur of nature, you grasp the essence of the ultimate truth, that every imperfection and every hardship is the very terrain upon which true beauty is built. The mountain, both scarred and sublime, mirrors your own journey, its steep ascents and unforeseen precipices echoing the trials that have forged your spirit. Standing at the summit, you are invited to reflect. Is it not in the struggle against gravity, against our own limitations, that we find the purest form of strength? In this high sacred space, you see that authenticity is the summit of all achievement. Gazing into this infinite cosmic ocean, you feel the pull of a deeper mystery, a realization that the truth of your existence stretches far beyond the confines of earthly ideals. The vast, shimmering expanse whispers that every imperfection is as integral as the stars that punctuate the night sky. In this celestial reflection, you learn that perfection is not a state of flawlessness, but a dynamic interplay of light and dark, a balance of forces that mirror the paradoxes of life. The cosmic ocean, with its endless horizons, teaches you that embracing the full spectrum of your being is the key to unlocking a boundless, transformative power. How liberating it is to know that you are both a part of this grand cosmic dance and the creator of your own unique rhythm. In this dance of light and shadow, you witness the delicate balance between opposites, the eternal waltz of creation and dissolution. Each flicker on the water's surface is a reminder that life is perpetually in motion, and that true perfection lies not in static beauty, but in the ceaseless, graceful flux of existence. The transient patterns mirror the fleeting moments of clarity that punctuate your journey. In acknowledging the impermanence of each ripple, you find a profound sense of peace, a liberating understanding that every phase of transformation, every shift from darkness to light, is a necessary note in the symphony of your life. Emerging from the ashes of old ideals, you behold the phoenix, an enduring symbol of rebirth and the relentless power of transformation. This transcendent creature embodies the ultimate truth that every end carries the seed of a new beginning. As the phoenix ascends, it burns away the remnants of a flawed pursuit, revealing an inner light that is as resilient as it is radiant. In its fiery flight, you are reminded that the true measure of your worth is not found in an unattainable perfection, but in your capacity to rise again and again from the trials that have shaped you. Embrace this metamorphosis, for it is in the act of continual rebirth that your most authentic self emerges. In the sturdy embrace of this ancient tree, you find a living testament to the wisdom of time. Every scar on its bark, every twist in its roots, is a story of survival and growth, a reminder that beauty often emerges from the crucible of adversity. The tree teaches you that the passage of time weaves the tapestry of your being, each moment adding depth and character to your existence. Its unwavering strength lies not in its perfection, but in its ability to stand resilient against the storms of life. Here, you learn that your journey, with all its bumps and bruises, is a narrative of profound beauty and enduring wisdom. In the silent rustle of its leaves, the ultimate truth resonates. Authenticity grows from the courage to live fully, unafraid of the imperfections that define your past and shape your future. As night gives way to the first light of a resplendent dawn, you stand on the threshold of a new beginning, a final, profound realization that redefines everything you once thought you knew. The luminous horizon beckons you to step into a reality where the pursuit of perfection has been replaced by an unwavering embrace of life's true essence. In that radiant glow, you understand that the ultimate truth is a call to live authentically, to honor every imperfection, every twist and turn that has led you to this moment of clarity. This is your metamorphosis, a rebirth into a life where authenticity is not just celebrated, but revered as the highest form of existence. With the dawn's gentle caress, you are invited to rewrite your narrative, to transform the lie of the perfect life into a living, breathing testament of your resilient, beautifully flawed soul.